Can I tell you what's one of the biggest, and this, I'm being open, we're speaking to young people, and this is a message to carry elsewhere. I'd like to hope we're not guilty of what I'm about to say because it's a big one. But we are to carry it to others. One of the biggest reasons why people do not even want to read Salah is pornography. May Allah protect us, our offspring, our colleagues, our children. People don't realize it has such a big impact, such a huge impact on the mind, on the emotions, on the spirituality, on everything we do, on our thinking, on the way we look at the opposite sex. Everything changes, and it changes quite badly. And the worst thing is we stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and we've lost concentration. Then we say, Sheikh, give me a dua. I need to concentrate. My brother, my sister, a single dua without doing something about it will not solve your problem.
This is one of the most destructive aspects that shaitan now has. This destroys families, it destroys your heart, it will put out your inner eye. You will not be able to have any spiritual experiences. Your heart will become like that mujakhiyan, what the Prophet ﷺ said, a vessel that can't carry any good. إِلَّا مَا أُشْهِرِبَ مِنْ هَوَاهُ. Because this is all hawa. And porne in Greek means prostitute. One of the tribulations is the faces of prostitutes. People that Allah, there are people that are punished by giving them the tribulation of looking at the faces of prostitutes. And this is basically, anybody who's in these films is a prostitute. Male or female, they're selling their bodies. Look at the stats, people. Look at the Muslim countries. This is the searches per capita. Look what's happening to us. And then you're wondering why we're being, why this punishment is coming down on us. What's happening to our people? How has shaitan been able to do this? Because we forgot. We left all the protection. We left the awrad. We left the wird of the Quran. The ahraz that the Prophet gave us to say every morning and evening. We're supposed to say these things. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. There's evil in the world. You're supposed to seek protection from it. We're supposed to protect ourselves, guard our hearts. This thing is a precious thing. It was created to know Allah. It wasn't created for these things. And Islam is a pure religion. The Muslims that migrated out of India called it Pakistan. The land of purity. Muslims are supposed to be pak. They're supposed to be tayyib. The Prophet said, "At-tayyibun lit-tayyibat." This will corrupt the heart. It will make it aswad mirbad, black. Internet websites, 4.2 million, 12% of total websites. Pornographic pages, 372 million. These are sound stats. Daily pornographic search engine requests 68 million. 25% of total search engine requests. What's happening to us as a species? Daily pornographic emails, 2.5 billion. 8% of total emails. What's happening to us?
It's making its way, if I want to protect my children from this stuff as much as possible. But when my child goes to school, and it doesn't matter if it's Islamic school, there's a very high statistical likelihood that someone, a friend, with their iPod, with their mobile device, will say, hey, look at this. It's a very realistic, a thing nowadays. It's not far-fetched. And so I have to prepare my children for the filthy world that they're going to be brought up in. And there's no escape from this stuff anymore. There isn't. It's everywhere. It is everywhere. You have Islamic lectures followed up by, those YouTube puts those follow-up clips, and something will be filthy. Something will have to be filthy. And I don't think that's by accident. I'm not much of a conspiracy theorist, but I don't think that stuff is an accident. And what happens to you guys is you watch a video, you see something filthy, you click it, you click something else, and you end up watching disgusting things. That's what happens to you. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِفُرُوجِهِمْ حَافِظُونَ. Especially when it comes to their privates, they guard them. They guard their shame. Brother, what's the solution? Should I get married? Like the guy who asked the other day, how can I get married right now? No, guys, the solution is not marriage. Because if you're a pervert, then you're going to be a pervert after marriage too. If you have no shame now, you will have no shame after marriage. Honestly. You think marriage is going to end your problems? No. Your problem isn't marriage. Your problem is spiritual in nature. Your problem is psychological in nature. You need help. You need to stop this. You need to stop hurting yourself like this. You will have nothing, there will be nothing left inside you. I just had an email from a teenager who's addicted to pornography, an anonymous email, 14, 15-year-old teenager. Says, I want to kill myself. I can't stop. I've been watching it since I was 11. My parents don't know. I read this stuff and I cry because he's not one. There's millions of Muslim kids like this. Millions. Millions of them. We have to help these people. We have to do whatever we can. And we don't have the trillions of dollars of advertising to counter that. We don't. And it's not realistic for me to say Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, internet, it's all haram. It's not realistic because it's a reality. It's as common as oxygen now. The only thing we can do is have a mature conversation about this and teach our youth to deal with this and navigate this and not fall into it.
Here's another problem. Human trafficking. There are more slaves today, and there are many other problems. They estimate, the Scotland Yard, based on the records that they have of pedophile material on the internet, they reckon that there are 80 million children have been sexually abused. 80 million. Massive trauma to little children, innocent children. Human trafficking, 80% of it is for sex industry. This is disgusting. This should make us vomit, but this is what's happening on our planet. Who is searching for sex? If you actually did it by the numbers related to this is done where they actually look at the numbers who have access to the internet based on the population sizes. We have Muslim countries that are outnumbering in their searches, even the United States, which is actually #1 for downloads. In a recent article on Huffington Post, Pornhub, the #1 visited pornography site, claimed that they had 14 billion downloads. 14 billion downloads of pornographic material in the last year. 1.5 million videos watched worldwide. This is one website every hour. They estimated that 68 billion pornographic videos were watched. What is happening on our planet? This is happening in Muslim countries. You're in denial if you deny this. There are people here who are probably, they have this tribulation. Our Prophet said, إِذَا سَمِعَ أَحَدُكُمْ بِالدَّجَّالِ فَلْيَنَعْ عَنْهُ. If one of you hears about the Dajjal, let him avoid the Dajjal. And then he said, فَإِنَّ أَحَدَكُمْ يَحْسِبُ أَنَّهُ مُؤْمِنٌ فَيَتْبَعُهُ بِمَا يُبْعَثُ بِهِ مِنَ الشَّهَوَاتِ. This is in the Musnad of Imam Ahmed. He said, one of you will believe he's a believer, and then he'll go and he'll begin to follow him because of what he brings from all the appetites and desires. We have people addicted to these things. They're اتخذ أرأيت الذي اتخذ إلهه هواه. Haven't you seen the one who took his desires as a God? If you're obeying these desires, you are making these desires your God. And Allah is a jealous God. إنه غيور يغار على دينه وعلى طاعته وحذركم يا عباد الله يا معشر العرب يا معشر المسلمين أحذركم تحذيرا من الله سبحانه وتعالى أحذركم توبوا إلى الله سبحانه وتعالى توبوا إلى الله سبحانه وتعالى خالفوا هواكم جاهدوا أعداءكم من الهوى من النفس شيطان دنيا وهوى جاهدوا أنفسكم توبوا إلى الله سبحانه وتعالى أحذركم تحذيرا والله أحذركم تحذيرا.
You know, and you're struggling with it, but don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on yourself. And whatever it takes, if you just don't be alone, don't be by yourself, be with good friends, be outside, study somewhere else. Go to the library and study. Go somewhere where other people are around. Because when you're by yourself, shaitan gets you. And if the fear of Allah isn't enough for you, at least the fear of other people will work for you. At least something's better than nothing. You know? For those, I've said this in other talks before, for the parents here, if you have a computer in the house, please don't make it a laptop. Have a desktop in the house with a really big monitor. Get the biggest monitor you can find. Honest to God, and make sure your computer is in the kitchen or in the dining room. Don't put it in the living room. Don't put it in the kids' room. Don't put it in your bedroom. Put it in the dining room, facing the public. You want to do homework, do it over there. Though you can't move the monitor this way or that way. It's facing everybody. That's how you should have it. You know? This stuff, we have to take these precautions. Don't give your 11-year-old a smartphone. What were you thinking? That's not very smart. You know? Don't give them a smartphone. Why am I seeing kids in Islamic school, 5th graders, with iPhones? iPhone 5s. I don't have an iPhone 5. Why do you have an iPhone 5? With 4G, you know how dangerous that stuff is?
My brothers and sisters, that's not what life is. If you're a good Muslim, how can you reduce your life to entertainment alone? Yes, you may want to enjoy yourself within the limits once in a while, and you take your family, you spend time with your family, but you need to know the greatest enjoyment is achieved by obeying the instruction of your Maker. He tells you to eat that which is pure and good. He tells you to earn in a beautiful way if you're a good Muslim. He tells you to spend time with your family members. Today, the crisis we are facing, people are prepared to spend time with their friends every night, doing only what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows and they know. And their spouses and their family members whom they are supposed to be spending time with, they are responsible for, are literal orphans whose parents are alive. Orphans whose parents are alive, because we don't even spend time with our family members. And we call ourselves good Muslim. And then we are depressed, we are sad. And then sometimes we lose our families. We have children who grow up all on drugs and bad habits because you never spend time with them.
If you have no problem looking at something, staring at someone, you're not looking at them as a decent human being. You're looking at them as an animal, as a piece of flesh. That's all you're looking at them as. That means you have no respect for your own mother, your own sister, your own wife, your own daughter. They are also women. You wouldn't want somebody to stare at them. The one you're staring at is also somebody's daughter. It's also somebody's sister. It's also somebody's mother. Watch it. Even if they don't have respect for themselves, non-Muslim women, sometimes they don't have respect for themselves, so they'll dress in inappropriate clothing. Even Muslims dress in inappropriate clothing, for that matter. But you have respect for yourself and the women of your family and lower your gaze to that. And it's really disgusting when the entire family sits together and they're watching movies and shamelessness comes on, and they're all the mother and the daughter and the husband and the brother, everybody's sitting together watching. Oh, it was just one bad scene, it's okay. It's disgusting. That's not the behavior of a Muslim family. We should be disturbed by shamelessness. We should be, we should stand against it. This is one of the great troubles of this society. There are a lot of great things about our society, lots of great things. But this is one of the things that's destroying our youth. Overexposure to shamelessness. Some girl just randomly messages you, I want to be your friend on Facebook. Well, I don't. No. Go find your brother to be friends with. Don't you have a father? He's not friendly to you? You need to find friends elsewhere? Guys, I'm telling you this very, very seriously. I'm very serious about this. You think this is fun, and that's pictures. This is your ticket to hellfire also. You're destroying your character. Would you want to marry a girl like that? That 100 other boys have looked at as, she's kind of cute, yeah. Oh, you married her? Oh, great. Where's your manhood? The Muslim, they have a sense of haya. The women and the men. And our women, nobody's supposed to look at your wife except who? You. Nobody's supposed to enjoy her beauty except you. Right? You would be disturbed if somebody said, oh, mashallah, you're a really beautiful wife. You'd be disturbed by that. Right? We're supposed to be as disturbed when we look at non-maharim. We're supposed to have that sense of shame. I don't know where it's gone. It's on vacation nowadays. For a lot of Muslims, it's on vacation. Revive that sense of shame. This is very important. It will destroy your family life. You will not be able to have a healthy marriage. You will certainly not raise good children if you don't have a sense of shame. You have to have a sense of shame. The kind of filth that is on television, the kinds of things you're watching. The Messenger warned us, alayhi salatu wassalam. Asiyat, Kariyat Asiyat, they're wearing clothes but they're not wearing clothes. He warned us of a time like that. And that's it's just PG-13. It's okay, we can go. It's just PG-13. Oh, it's just one bad scene in there. Oh, it's not that bad, right? What do you want us to do then? Because, you know, I can't even watch the movie. Even my parents don't let me do anything. My life is so sad because I didn't watch whatever. Right? Get over yourself and get over this obsession with entertaining yourself. You're a free person. There is life other than television and other than movies and other than Hulu.com and other than, you know, whatever else. There's life outside of that too. There's still oxygen to breathe. You'll survive, trust me. You'll still be alive if you abandon those things. Actually, you'll be much happier too. Dude, if you know, the thing is, I can tell you what not to do, but finally I have to tell you what to do, right? Because if you're not doing all of that, then what are you doing? Find time doing sports. Go out. Start jogging or something. Find a healthy activity. I'm not saying necessarily find a religious activity. I don't expect that from you. But I do expect, find an activity that at least isn't making you a worse human being. You understand what I'm saying? At least do no harm. At least do no harm. And the elders here that are sitting, please, just a minute of your time. If our youth are coming together in the masjid, and they're not learning anything about Islam. They're just sitting here, eating pizza or whatever, and just talking about stuff. Some random video game. I'm so happy that they're doing that. Because you know, if they weren't doing that here, they're probably doing something much worse at home. So don't say, hey, these children, hey, what are they doing? Please don't do that. Let them be here. Because the alternatives are worse. At least they're doing no harm. At least they're better than what else is out there. You understand? You have to build these, you know, don't expect like the highest caliber of behavior from our youth. You didn't raise them that way, so how can you expect that from them? You put them in public school, they didn't apply themselves. You put them there, you expose them to shamelessness 8 hours every day, and then when they don't act like, you know, the tabi'in, they're like, how can they behave like this and much this? What's the matter with you? Get real, accept reality, this is reality. So, you know, I sincerely ask the elders of our community to have more tolerance for youth in the masjid, to be more welcoming to them, to not push them away. And I sincerely ask you young guys, the last bit of advice as about shamelessness, and I'm done inshallah, I promise this time, I'm done, I mean it. Find better company to hang out with. If your company is shameless, you will be shameless. If your company has shame and decency, you will develop shame and decency. If your company is messed up, they will drag you to hell with them. And you'll think that they're cool. But a day will come when they'll be really, really hot. Right? It's not going to be cool at all.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. If you enjoyed this video, please do share it with friends and family.